Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zhang. I'm a virtual construction manager at the Conco company. A little bit about my company. It is a commercial concrete contractor with offices along the West Coast, and our headquarters is right here in Concord, about 30 miles away from here to the east. So I'm kind of local. And in terms of my experience, I'm been involved in concrete construction and laser scan for about 7 years since I moved over to California. So I'm kind of relatively still fresh in white concrete compared to most of the speakers today. So it's really my privilege to have this opportunity to have this speak, and it is actually my honor to honor Bruce's contribution to the concrete industry. So I remember the first time I met Bruce was October in 2018. It was a Thursday evening at a pre-planning meeting for the ASCC laser scan study in Walnut Creek. It's also locally here in Bay Area. And definitely my favorite mentor is, I'm going to show this photo first. So when I stepped into the hotel lobby, that was where the meeting was held. And because I haven't met Bruce before, so I saw a person wearing a aloha shirt and holding a beer, talking to somebody, and I thought that must be Bruce, because I Googled him before and heard some stories from Jim Klinger, and all of a sudden I thought to myself, there's such a coincidence, because one of my favorite singers when I was younger, I have a photo here. You guys tell me. I think. So, and I didn't know until this morning from Peter Craig's session that Bruce could be a musician before. So that was my first impression when I first met Bruce. So, yeah, this photo again. I'm sure most of people have seen these photos everywhere. And it's actually taken from the first study that I was involved. That was the ASCC laser scan study, and it's gone viral on the social media and LinkedIn everywhere. As Jim Klinger brought this up this morning again. So I want to just give the photo credit to BKF engineers who took the drone shot for this, and all the people with the names here. And you can see Bruce is standing in the middle of the crew, and it's so-called the Magnificent Seven. That's what they taught me, even though I haven't watched the movie. But. So some background of this study. It was on one of our projects in Walnut Creek, Bay Area. So the concrete slab was poured a day or two before the survey. And we have 8 participants all over the U.S. come here with their own laser scanner and to scan slab. And those scan was with targets, which was pre-surveyed by the licensed survey company, which was BKF engineers. And the participants were given the survey control to determine their target coordinate from the scan and compare to the total section measurement. And in addition, the participants also calculated F numbers from the scan and compare to the dipstick method result. So I was fortunate to be part of the study, and that marks as the beginning of my journey working with Bruce. So that was in October 2018, and then in 2019, in January, Bruce hosted a second ASCC laser scan workshop in Las Vegas before the World of Concrete. So I was also asked by him to share some of my workflow and discuss some best practice from that study. And since then, unfortunately, because COVID hit and things are slowing down, so not much happened during those 2 to 3 years in terms of laser scan study on the concrete until late in 2021. And it was a day in December, I got a call from Jim Klinger after he discussed with Bruce and asked me, hey, Leo, there's a potential laser scan study that we can do for slab-on-grade test panel. So, and he asked if you're interested. So I said, yeah, I'm all in. So some background of the second study I was involved working with Jim Killinger and Bruce. It is, so Conco has a formwork and equipment yard in Martinez here in Bay Area. And we need a new access road at that time. And meanwhile, we have a parking garage project that was ongoing where they had some issues on the F number testing result on the swirl finish slab. So the original plan was to pour a 20 feet by 80 feet long. Actually, I have a photo here. The initial plan was to pour a 20 feet by 80 feet access road for the yard, and also divide those two four sections with four different type of finish. We have the broom finish, we have swirl finish, the machine float and bull float, and we have the same inspector, the testing agent, do the dipstick F numbers test. And same time we use a laser scan to perform a scan and calculate F number and compare also to determine how different kind of finish texture affect the F numbers on the slab. And our company also owns a ground penetrating radar, the GPR scanner. So Bruce suggested, why don't we collect more data from here? So basically we can scan the pad, the subgrade before pour the concrete, and then we scan the top of the slab. So we can determine the thickness from the laser scan. And also because we have GPR scanner, we can also use that to determine the thickness as a non-destructive testing method. And in addition, he mentioned another NDT method, which is called an impact echo. And to be honest, at that time, I was no idea what that was. And all he told me is it's not hard to learn it. So he went ahead and got some fun and purchased the device and just sent it over to me. So when I opened that little black box of that machine, I found a sheet with step-by-step instructions that written by Bruce. And the software was pre-programmed into the tablet, batteries were charged. So that's all prepared by Bruce. And I thought it must be a smooth, easy grab and go. But things not going too well that time. That was not able to get the data, and I called the text Bruce and FaceTime, and he helped to call the manufacturer, and we sent the machine back and retest it. But eventually we figured the machine was fine. It was because of the texture of that swirl finish that doesn't provide enough contact surface for the signal return. So I ended up with grinding all the 30 spots on the 1600 slab. It was a fun project. And then Bruce didn't want to stop there, and he said, since we have, 4 sets of non-NDT method result, why don't we also do the traditional way? We core it. So then we went ahead and poured 30 spots on this slab. So my company was fine with it, and they just scrolled it afterwards. Then we got some data. We presented at a 170 meeting last year in Orlando. So that was actually my first attendance at ACI, and I was kind of nervous and don't know what I should do in the meeting. So I called Bruce. We can have a dinner before, so just make me more comfortable. Then, so you see the photo we took at a restaurant, Jim, his wife, and Bruce and me. So Bruce came with a stack of PowerPoint slides when he came into the restaurant. As you can see, I don't know if you can see the slides on the table. So before he even looked at the menu, he went straight and started talking to me about, the slides, details for the presentation. So from there I can tell, man, this man is really, really focused and supportive in many ways. So really appreciate that. And then of course, we had a pretty nice dinner that day. And after the convention, we kept working on the articles. And eventually, we basically published 3 articles in the same year, every other month from May to September. As Bruce said, it was his first time to publish 3 in a year. And definitely that's my first time working with him on the articles. And earlier this year, I worked with some folks at another organization. It's called the US IBD. We host a laser scanner shootout event at the Jew Week conference in Denver. So it's to compare the laser scan results from different manufacturers. And when I mentioned that to Bruce, he as a return said, how about you go ahead and write some articles for the Concrete International as a follow-up from last year's study. So I'm seeing he's not say pushing, but challenging and providing a young professional like me an opportunity to grow. So I'm really thankful for that. And I'm sure they're going to be expecting more and more in the future. So these are some screenshots of the 3 articles we wrote. And the second one in Bruce's word is 7,000 word monster. That was a long article. And it's a long process working with him on that. And just a lot of Zoom meetings and a lot of emails back and forth. You know, sometimes he asks for results. that was the querying methods where I rushed to Oakland to pick up all the results and come back and do some more testing and send him numbers that he needs. Same thing, the article picture, he asked me the same thing. So I wish I used this one, it's gonna be viral in that case. But seriously, Bruce is really supportive in many, many ways. Every time I have questions about anything about concrete, about tolerance, ACI, the committee work, standard, and he always got back to me quickly through email, sometimes even text. And even a lot of time I got more information than I was expecting. And always you can see he even sent all the references and the guidance for me. So that's really, really supportive. So this is a laser scan deliverable that it was not published on the Concrete International magazine, but it is one of the deliverable that the format that we worked on. So Bruce had a lot of inputs and opinions to this formatting. So we have the typical 30 by 42 size title block, and we have the main virtual part of the data, and we split the bottom part to the information of survey, data collection, environment, tolerance requirement, and everything. And we have some data analysis on the right side. So that was from the study, and I didn't stop there just at the study. I actually applied what he taught me and guided me from the research to my daily job. So this is actually an ongoing project. If you pass by the Niner Stadium these days, or you fly out of San Jose Airport, you're going to see 3 big tower cranes there. It's an ongoing project that we're doing. This scan was on the pad before we started working on the foundations. So we calculated the high and low spot, over brick volume. So I applied the same drawing format from the study that we worked on before. So it feels really good to actually use what I learned from an industry guru to apply to my everyday job. So I think that's almost wrap up what I had. So like I said, I have a song prepared for Bruce that produced by that person, Let's see if we can play it. If not, probably Bruce have to sing yourself.
I lost.
I'm gonna just play a part of the.
回首无知的索求，羞耻与求救，不知疲倦的翻越每一个山丘，越过山丘。虽然已白了头，喋喋不休，时不我予的哀愁，还未如愿见着不朽，就把自己先搞丢。 越过山丘。
So I like the melody and the lyric in general for this song, but the last three sentences don't describe Bruce well, because he didn't lose any opportunity. He doesn't lose himself, and we've all been seeing his greatness and contributions to the concrete industry. So thank you, Bruce. Thank you so much.